Hi viewers, in this video we will dive into the movie Descendants: The Rise of Red or The Descendant 4. We'll discuss the movie story, summarize the plot and explore the cast and characters. Additionally, we'll cover the movie's production details and box office performance. Finally, we'll provide a review and share some personal reactions. Let's begin with the movie story. Summary follows Red, Queen of the Hearts, and Chloe, daughter of Cinderella, as they team up to save Auradon by traveling back in the time using the White Rabbit's backward watch to stop an event that would cause grave consequences. The expansive news story finds polar opposite Red and Chloe crossing paths at a modest celebration in Auradon when expected chaos break out. In order to prevent an impending cause, they must join forces to travel back in time while a magic pocket watch related by the Mad Hatter's son to stop an event that would lead to grave consequences. Former villain Kid Oma, now headmaster of Auradon, prayed, extended an invite to the school to another VK Road, the rebellious daughter of the Queen of Hearts from Wonderland. After the Queen of Hearts recites a soap against Auradon, Red must team up with Cinderella's perfectionist daughter Chloe and travel back in time to try to undo the traumatic event that set Red's mother down her villainous path. I watched the Descendants trilogy for the first time as a fully grown adult this week. As a Disney baby, I always enjoyed the wholesome musicals that are equal parts king and charm. A quick reminder, Descendants is a series of films that tell the story of the kids of popular Disney characters, especially it's about villains kids and how they deserve a second chance because everyone has a touch of good in them. In The Rise of Red, we see Alice in Wonderland's Queen of Hearts get a redemption, or she's currently one of the most well-known Disney villains of all time and not hitting off with their heads. Any move from her will continually feel ahead. But to get to the heart of the story, let's quickly recap the important details and explore Descendants: The Rise of Red's ending. Princess Red has always been different from her mother's expectations. She finds herself at odds with her all the time. And this is not just teenage rebellion. She just feels different, and the Empress of Wonderlands doesn't approve of anything she does. On the other hand, Oma is now the principal of Auradon Prep because Maul and Ben have left her in charge. While Maul freed the villains kids of the island, there was one place she could not reach: Wonderland. Everyone's afraid of the Queen of Hearts, and so they have never reached out to her daughter. But Oma plans on bringing her on board because that would continually make Auradon an even better kingdom. Plus, she believed Maul left her in charge especially because she would do something as tough as this. Tough the Queen basically has Red under lock and key in Wonderland. She immediately agrees to send her to Auradon Prep because that would give her a chance to rule Auradon too. A little before receiving the letter from Oma, Red spent some time with her friends Maddox, yes, Matt Hatton's sons. After hearing how sad she is about her mother retreats her. Maddox tells Red that she has a surprise for her. She's creating a time machine. It's a pocket watch. Wonder who he got the idea from. They offer it to her so she can fix her relationship with her mother. When Red and the Cream arrive at Auradon, it doesn't take the Empress long to stage a coup and proclaim herself a tyrant. This is when we learn that her name is Bright and she's used to the best friends with Cinderella. So what went wrong exactly? Ayla tells Brighter that she won't kneel to a tyrant because it goes against all her principles. This Ayla is continually very stupid. We love it. Bright gets Red to stand by her side and become the ruler she is destined to be. Red says Ayla has committed treason and so that only means one thing: off with her head. Realizing her mistake, Red decided to pull out the pocket watch, and at the time, Chloe, Ayla's daughter, pulls out her sword to fight her. Red tries to stop her, and together they end up on a magical trip back in home. Now you must be wondering how Brighter and Ayla were friends all those years ago, and Red and Chloe are about to find out after a little dance-off, which leads to them deciding they've got to work together. It seems Brighter used to be the sweetest person in Auradon. Well, the first came at 10. At the time, there was no Auradon and the kids all went to Maryland Academy. Red and Chloe pretends to be transfer student in front of Marilyn and ends up joining classes and eventually meeting Ella and Brighton. Red's totally shocked by her mother's drastic change. She doesn't even wear her classic red but wears pink and hands out cupcake to everyone. She Brighton's lunar because she is so kind, but the villains, which include Maleficent, Hades, Hook, and the Lord, don't appreciate her kindness. In fact, Oleana, Rosala's younger sister, steals all the Filipino feathers from Brighter's cake, leading to her turning into a flamingo herself. So, of course, Oleana blames Brighter and wants revenge. Chloe and Red quickly realize that Bright turned into the Queen of Hearts because of the prank that Oleana ended up playing on her during her first school dance, the Castle Coming. Chloe, the principal, learns a lot from her mother's young self. She never realized the condition her mom lived in, and she always thought she was a good person because that's what her parents taught her. But she never realizes the private in which she lived, which completely missed with her perspective of kindness. When the time comes for Chloe to help Red steal off a cookbook from Martin's office because it has a spell that would turn Bright into a monster, she backs out because stealing is bad. When Chloe discusses her moral dilemma with Ella, the wiser girl explains how there's always a gray area and nothing is purely good or evil. Chloe then agrees to help Red, and together they defeat the enemies that set up in Marlin's office to keep the wrongs of being banned books. Oleana or her gang shows up because Red and Chloe have done all the work for them. But when Oleana opened the book, it paralyzed her and the villains. Ultimately, they are sent off detention and Chloe and Red decide to go back home without even checking on their moms during Castle Coming. In Descendants, the ride of Red's ending, Red and Chloe return to Auradon as besties, but also with the hope that Red's home is changed person and Ella is saved. They arrive just before Brighter has staged the coup, and to their surprise, Brighter brings out her playing cards. However, when she throws them in the air, it's not scary red cloud but a beautiful pink heart that float up in the school. Bringing everyone joy, Brighter is still sweet and she truly loves her daughter. But is that all? Before the credits roll in, Oma asks if we thought this was the end. She then reminds us that anyone who messes with the continuum of time is sure to face consequences. This means that the spies start getting her happy ending. There's probably some other villain kid whose life has been permanently changed. Descendant, the rise of Red reminds us that everyone can be taught to be good, and with the right company, anything can be accomplished. Though I have got to say I'd have liked to see this Castle Coming. If there is another movie, I hope we'll see it. Descendants, the rise of Red leaves fans wanting more, with a thrilling time travel adventure where Red and Chloe attempts to stop the Queen of Hearts from turning evil, hunting at a sequel. The Disney Plus movies was released on July 12 and it is a spin-off from the popular series. It follows new character at Auradon Prep, now Oma China in McLean, as in charge of the school and allows all children from any part of the kingdom to attempt. Among them is Red, Kylie Cantrall, the daughter of the Queen of Hearts, Rita Ora. Chaos ensues when Red's mother revolts against Auradon in order to kill Cinderella. Brandy, Red then team up with Chloe, Cinderella's daughter, Myla Breaker, from a memorable time travel adventure. They meet their mother as teenagers, which results in an exciting mission. This is a pivotal moment. Their primary aim during their experience are time to prevent one crucial event. The event caused Red's mother to return evil, thereby becoming known as the Queen of Hearts. In her younger years as Brighter, Ruby Rose Turner, God was impressed by Oleana Dararini at a school dance, which led her down a dark path. Red and Chloe discovered that Oleana planned to use a spellbook stolen from Marlin's office of her prank. To stop this, Red convinces Chloe to steal the book first. They succeed and return home just before the Queen of Hearts starts her coup. Upon returning home, Red fears that her mother might still be evil. Almost everything happens just as before when they arrive at Auradon Prep again. However, this time the Queen dresses in light pink clothes, reminiscent of her youth. She lets out magical heart wheel affectionately hugging her daughters, showing the deep love she has for Red. It becomes clear that what Red and Chloe did work, as they prevented the events that turned her into the Queen of Hearts. Cinderella is also alive and smiling at Chloe talks over to her. In that, Oma speaks to a voiceover that suggests there is more to come. She implies that you can never mess with time without having consequences. During an interview with People, Kylie Cantrall spoke of the butterfly effect from their journey through time. Red and Chloe altered sometime when they went back, according to Cantrall. Dora Rennie echoes this sentiment. Nothing that good intention can still lead to unexpected changes. Maybe Red did more damage than good, Rennie remarked. None of the cast members confirmed that a sequel would be made, but they indicate there would be more than willing to return for it. Malia Baker wants to dive deeper into Cinderella and King Charming's land and cannot wait for everyone to see how Chloe's life has changed. Baker is happy that none of the characters needed a knight in shining armor, but if a sequel is made, she is open to Chloe's involvement in a romantic relationship. There are also changes of Red finding love, according to Cantrall. Cantrall's wonder what will change between Red and her mother now that's drastically going to change their relationship, she said. She also anticipates seeing the bond between Red and Chloe strengthen. Rennie, who played the antagonist, quipped about wanting an Oana original story. She imagines a scenario where the VKS villain kids are causing trouble in Wonderland, leaving her to say, perhaps Oana is in charge now. Descending the Rise of Red adds another exciting installment to the Charade series. Fans are eagerly awaited what comes next as the ending hints at future adventures. Is it possibility of fresh escapes and deeper exploration of their lives that keeps everyone thrilled? Descending the Rise of Red picks up the story where its procedure left off, with Oma, Ursula's daughter, now at the helm of Auradon Prep. The franchise welcomes a new face, Princess Red, the rebellious daughter of the tyrannical Queen of Hearts, yearning for a life beyond her mother's shadow. Red finds herself at Auradon Prep, her arrival stirring chaos within the once peaceful school as the Queen of Hearts plot a sniper takeover. Red and Princess Chloe, Cinderella's perfectionist daughter, embark on a daring mission through time to rewrite history and thwart the Queen's evil plan. The fourth film of the Descendants franchise opened with the recap. In the previous movie, Mal and Ben freed the Isle by removing the barrier forever and leaving to form alliance with other distant lands. Leaving Oma in charge of Auradon, the new headmaster for Auradon in Oma, and Fairy, grandmother in charge of Auradon's university. As the first order of business, Oma says all children will be welcome in Auradon Prep, including Princess Red, daughter of Queen of Heart from Wonderland. Furthermore, Oma requests Fairy grandmother to send an invite to Queen of Heart, even though Fairy grandmother is reluctant as Wonderland is finished like the Isle was. She gives in the Oma's request. Meanwhile, in Wonderland, Queen of Heart has earned the reputation of being a tyrant. She is telling Princess Red to be in the same. In Wonderland, nobody dare defy the Queen's order except Princess Red, as she wants to live a life on her own terms and has no intention of being a tyrant. One day, Princess Red disobeys the curfew and tears her mother's poster. Subsequently, a soldier is blamed for not catching the culprit. When Queen of Hearts asks Princess Red to give the punishment, she cannot bring herself to be ruthless. Luckily, Maddox interrupts them and shows Queen of Hearts the invite of Princess Red to attend Auradon. The Queen of Hearts accepts the invite. In stark contrast to Princess Chloe, Cinderella and Prince Charming's daughter grow up in a loving family with happily married parents. Also, Princess Chloe is kind-hearted and gets a marriage parents reward in the form of cool-looking glass show from Cinderella for being a good person and doing well in academic. Like Princess Red, Princess Chloe is going to be attending Auradon. What surprises Princess Red and Queen of Hearts' willingness to visit Auradon, especially because she hated the school. Despite her mother's odd behavior, Red is thrilled to get out of the Wonderland and live her life without her mother's rule over her head. Happily, Queen of Hearts, like a bride, enters Auradon. Red cannot understand her mother's excitement before the ceremony. Brighter and Cinderella, aka Ella, bump into each other. Red is rude to Chloe, just like her mother. The ceremony begins and Oma introduces herself. However, she gets annoyed with Queen of Hearts for playing with her cards. When Oma tries to stop her, Queen of Hearts uses her powers and throws the cards up in the air, and soldiers fall out, capturing anyone. It turns out the Queen of Hearts entered Auradon with the intention of a coup. Now she is thrilled to rule the land. However, Ella tries to stop Brighter from letting bygones be bygones, making Brighter understand that deep down she is a good person. The kind words from Ella do not save Brighter, as she cannot forget the humiliation she felt during her first dance in school. She turned her into a tyrant. Since Ella goes against Brighter's wishes, Bright forces Red to call out Ella for treason, which means that Ella will be killed. After that, Red is guilty and Chloe tries to fight her. The time machine, a stopwatch the Maddox gave Red, accidentally gets activated, and both Red and Chloe go back in time. A still form of Descent, The Rise of Red 2024. As soon as they go back to many decades before their time, they realize the school was Marlin's academy before it was Auradon. At first, Chloe does not believe that they travel through their time because of the time machine. But once she understands, she fights Red to take the time machine so they can go back of their time. The fight concludes with both Red and Chloe joining forces to rewrite history. The time the princess enters Marlin Academy is close to the constant coming, with Brighter is humiliated. Inside the campus, Red and Chloe bump into Marlin, the headmaster, who takes them to their first class, where they are paired with a younger version of their mother. What Red cannot believe is how kind and lovely Brighter is, which throws her off completely. Eventually, Red and Chloe are introduced to the villainous kid heads, Oyana, Ursula's daughter, and Morky, who preys on the innocent and finds joy in bullying. The kind-hearted Brighter has made cupcakes of flamingo feathers, and Oleana, who wants to be known to be worse than Ursula, eats all the flamingo feathers, turning her into a half-bird. As Oleana tries to chase Brighter around, she falls into the enhancement water and turns into herself. However, Oleana's word of wanting revenge on Brighter's make Chloe and Red realize why they were brought back to this specific time. After the chaos, Prince Charming asks Ella to attend the castle, coming with him. Chloe also learned that Ella hates royalty. However, Brigitte is upset because no one has asked her for the dance, and Ella asks to go with her. In the dorms, Chloe and Red discussed how different their mother are in the future and everything about their lives that lead to it. Meanwhile, Red and Chloe meets Ella. Accidentally, Chloe breaks a vase, making the evil stepmother punish Ella. Through Ella, Red and Chloe learns where to find Oleana. Once they follow the villainous kids, they realize Oleana is planning to use the Sorcerer's Cookbook to seek revenge on Brigitte. The only way to know about the cookbook is to meet Brigitte, and once they enter Brigitte's room, Red sees the looking glass. As Brigitte looks for the books, Red looks into the looking glass and realizes the future is still bleak and they need to fix the problem soon. Through Brigitte, Red and Chloe learn that the banned books are safely secured through enhancement in Marlin's office. Descending, the Red of Rest 2024 ending explained. Now that the plan is clear, Red wants to sneak into Marlin's office and steal the book. However, Chloe's thing is against the rules and they need to tell Marlin about the situation. In a heated debate, Chloe says Red is evil like her mother when obsessed Red, but she decided to steal the book anyway. Meanwhile, Chloe visits Ella and asks for advice. Ella says there is nothing wrong with getting one's hand dirty of it for a good cause. Immediately, Chloe realizes she needs to get the books to save Ella's life. At the same time, Red breaks into Marlene's office, which Oleana and the villain kids watch before they make a move. When Chloe decides to join Red, Red is surprised but happy to have Chloe by her side. Inside, they spot the book, and as they get a hold of it, start turning into soldier and all start moving to give the message to Marlene. Luckily, Red and crew fight them off, and as they get their hands on the book, Oleana enters and takes the cookbook from them. When Oleana opens it, all the villain kids, including Oleana, are enhanced by the magic, making them freeze in their position. Taking the book from Oleana, Red opens it. However, nothing happens to her as they hear Marlene's voice. So Red and Chloe run away, and Marlene punishes the villain's kid, sending them to detention. Now Brightel will not be humiliated. Red and Chloe come back to the Prevented and are Josh on Brighted. The Queen of Heart is positive and loving. The entire school break into a dance celebrating the new term. In the end, Oma's narration says everybody got what they wanted, but that can be dangerous, especially when someone messes with the fabric of time. The ending suggests that the story has not ended and that there is more to come, especially because time travel and changing the course of history can have repercussion. Even though Red did not lose her mother, many other aspects would have changed in the subsequent film from the franchise. The story will be explored. Unlike the other three films from the franchise, the film had a lot more music and dance and added an element of time travel to it. The story primarily focused on Red and Chloe, the good and evil bonding like the rest of the film. However, the way the bonding happens is slightly different in this film. The main character Oma and Fairy Godmother's roles more significantly less screen time in the film. Can a villain truly be stopped from becoming a villain? That's the question Descendants: The Rise of Red tries to answer, especially in regards to the Queen of Heart, and in the end the answer could go a few ways. The fourth installment of Disney Cities centers on Red, Kylie Cantrall, the Princess of Wonderland, and rebellious daughter of the Queen of Hearts, Rita Ora. When Red gets invited to Auradon prep, contrasty of Principal Oma, Jenna Annie McLean returning in the role, her mother uses it as an opportunity to lead a coup. In doing so, she sentences Cinderella, Brandy, reprising her role from the 1997 film, to death for treason. Can't you guess her method of choice? And yes, getting the Queen iconic off with her head catchphrase right was a challenge for Rita Ora. The actress and singer admit she definitely started to overanalyze it. I had to be like, okay, I need to step away from this because I was taking it so seriously. Because a history of the off with her head, Ora told the rap, but I think it helps that in English, and it's helped that I just talk for it, evaluated my English and said. She continues, I feel like in Disney movies and with villains, they have with English kind of accent, but it's not English. It's almost a bit like universal English where you don't really know what they are from, but they have this regal accent, you know. So I just enjoyed applying that really, and I did my own version. I've got this like housey voice, so I just sort of like employed it really. Red's not totally on board with her mother's plan through. She uses a pocket watch gifted to her by Maddox's hater Leonard named to go back in the time with Cinderella's daughter Chloe Malia Baker. Together realized that the Queen of Hearts, known then as just Brigitte, was actually best friend with Cinderella before a cruel prank was played on her at Castle Coming. Ella was not responsible for the prank, but she did not help Brigitte because she was off falling in love with Prince Charming. So Red and Chloe's plans is simple: stop Oleana and her villainous squad from playing the prank that turns Brigitte into a murderous queen. And in the end, they managed to do in just that. When Red and Chloe return to the present, the Queen of the Heart now wears a white and red dresses, and her favorite card game in Hearts, now War, She appears to be reformed, but it's hard to say for sure considering the plot relies on Red being a villain kid VK who gets invited to Auradon. It's never made explicitly clear, and the queen herself isn't saying. In fact, she likes that there are a few different options with this ending. I think she definitely rediscovered her soft side of her daughter. I think this film is about friendship and family, and sometimes you need family to sort of like. Snaps you back into the realm of love and happiness and appreciation. Aura explained, but I love the idea of the door being left open. I think that's really cool. The Rise of Red writers made a really great move on that. She added that particularly for future sequel purpose, it's good that you can go a few different ways. A fifth film has not officially been announced as of yet, but it's worth nothing than almost voiceover does give the classic. You didn't think this was the end of the story, did you? Line at the end of the movie, so another film is readily possible. I have just finished watching the Disney Channel debut of Descendants, The Rise of Red. You are probably asking yourself one question. Now what? The fourth full-length installment is Disney's Descendants franchise, originally premiered last month on Disney Plus, and fans have been terrorized about film's ambiguous ending ever since. The movie musical concludes with Red and Chloe, the daughter of Cinderella and the Queen of Hearts, returning from their time-traveling adventure to discover that they successfully prevented the Queen from turning evil in the first place. But all's not well. The end, well as a closing voiceover from Principal Oma suggests that the story isn't over yet. Getting what you want to be dangerous she wants, especially when you mess with the fabric of time. Although a fifth Descendants film has not officially been ordered yet, executive producer Suzanne Todd confirms to TV Line that Disney is definitely working on and thinking about a follow-up movie. What that movie would be about, however, is still anyone's guess. One popular theory is that turning the Queen of Hearts good somehow made Cinderella into a villain. On that front, Todd tells TV Line, I can neither confirm nor deny the future good or evilness of anybody, other than saying that there will be future good and evil turns for sure. It's super fun thinking about it and trying to work it out. For what it's worth, Cantrall and Baker are both totally on board with the idea of Cinderella taking a dark turn a la Henry in Descendants 3, especially if the change extends to her offspring. I am putting it out there, I want Chloe to have a little VK moment, Baker tells TV Line in our video interview about maybe that's what happened. Chloe goes a little crazy and that's only the tip of the iceberg. Trust us, these guys have just as many theories as the fan, if not more. What's your take out the mysterious ending and what are your hopes for the future of Descendants franchise? Grade the Rise of Red in our poll and drop a comment. What will all of your thoughts? Descendants: The Rise of Red broke a record its debut on Disney Plus. With 6.7 million views in its first 3 days of streaming, the film is now Disney branded television's most viewed DCOM premiere ever on the streamer, according to Disney. This is a fairly big number for any Disney Plus release, though it's difficult to compare directly with other titles as the streamer has been inconsistent with the viewership data that's in report. Earlier this year, Taylor Swift, the era's fourth film, debuted to 4.6 million views in the 3 days. When Percy Jackson and the Olympics debuted in December, Disney Plus announced the 6-day series viewership tally. In June, Disney releases one-day viewership data for The Occult, which was around 4.8 million views. The streamer later circulated a 5-day viewership total for the premiere. Loki Season 2 also got 3 days viewership number in October. As one of the most popular series on Disney Plus, it generated more than 10 million views in the lifetime frame. Kids titles are a big draw for Disney Plus, which is why it makes sense the Descendants: The Rise of Red would perform all right off the gate. Disney Plus defines views as hour viewed divided by runtime, so once again it's not a completely directed comparison, but the third Descendants film draws just over 8 million viewers when it premiered on Disney's channel. that indicate that the film performed similar to how it might have if I had a linear TV debit. The film will make its way to a cable on August 9 and I will likely perform well once again and it airs on the Disney Channel. According to Disney, the film is generating a ton of buzz of the dreamer as well. The Descendants, The Rise of Red soundtrack already has more than 26 million streams across platforms and the hashtag Descendants has garnered over 95 million views in the US in addition to over 9 billion views globally. Descendants, The Rise of Red follows the story of Red, the rebellious daughter of the Queen of Hearts, and Chloe, Stranda's perfectionist daughter, when the tyrannical Queen of the Hearts recite a soap against Auradon. Polar opposite Reds and Chloe must join forces and travel back in time to undo the traumatic event that sets Red's mother down her villainous path. Descendants, The Rise of Red is the latest in the popular Descendant movie franchise from Disney apart. A continuation of spin-off of the original 3 movies, the new version is updated for a new generation of kids while keeping true to the original and what made the movie so popular of its original audience to have now found themselves to be teenager. Villain kid Oma, daughter of Ursula, is now the headmistress of Auradon Prep and she is on a mission to make sure no villain kid feels left out. She invites the baddest of the bad, Red, daughter of the Queen of Hearts, to join Auradon Prep. Craving to leave her evil mother and their home of Wonderland, Red is excited at the prospect. The Queen of Hearts hates Auradon and is using this opportunity to get revenge. When the Queen puts her plan into action, it is up to Red and Cinderella and Charming's daughter Chloe to save the day. They are tasked with stopping the events of the past to save their future. This new movie offers a musical extravaganza that surpasses the original trilogy in terms of the sheer volume and quality of musical number, but do not hold up a memorable songs like those of the original movies. There are different genres like rap, gospel, rhythm, and blues songs and some pops. The songs were heavy with the auto-tune, which is a shame because the cast are very talented singers. Although the constant flows of song might be overwhelming for some viewers, they are well-crafted musical sequence, while some effect shots contain the charming hockey feel of Kenny Ortega's original Descendants movie. Jennifer Fogg bring a legitimate cinematic eye to the film. The standout sequences occur at the midpoint of the film where modern students sample brighted the original name of the Queen of the Hearts, Flaming Feather Cupcakes. This scene showcases Penal's ability to craft visually stunning and creatively characterized number. The film is more visually appealing than its predecessors, featuring elaborate camera movement and in wide sets that expands the film would in a compelling way. In one particularly memorable moment, the camera moves like a dancer alongside the students who perform break dancing feats with their clothes turned pink, creating an absolute parava moment. The rest of the film is similarly filled with intentional musical numbers, making it a visually with experience. The most anticipated and well-for-the-wait part of the film is the return of Brandy and Polo Montalban as Cinderella and Prince Charming. The adult looking for some nostalgia will be happy to see them. However, their story was changed to fit this movie and there are no callback to their movie from the 90s, which is let down. The villain in the movie is Oleana, Ursula's younger sister, played by Disney Channel star Dora Rainey. She is a powerhouse of a singer and I wanted to see more of her. I just want a moment to see all the villains we are used in the franchise as younger version of themselves. Kylie, Cantrall, Red, and Myla Baker Chloe are likable in their performance. I was pleasantly surprised by Rita Ora's Queen of Heart. She is known for her singing, so unsurprisingly her song sounded very good. Her acting was not over the top and her performance was so well done that she may be the breakout performance for the movie. However, the story of Descendants, The Rise of Red is relatively simple and takes attention after the initial satire of a thrilling conflict. As Chloe and Red travel back in time, the film heavily borrows from Back to the Future, leading to familiar and original time travel tropes. Consequently, the time travel jokes flat as the promise of manipulating the space-time continuum feels less impactful, especially with the instantaneous logic surrounding Red's stopwatch. The rushed climax doesn't help either. A lively action scene is bogged down by a rapid conclusion which immediately sets the stage for another Descendants film. Unlike the previous installment, which provided a sense of closure while teasing future adventures, the ending there feels incomplete. While Cantrall and Baker makes a terrific pair, they lack the chemistry of the original cast, making it hard to watch the dynamic of Mel and her gang. Jennifer Fong, however, does pay a moving tribute to Cameron Boyk, who tragically passed away in 2020. The respectful closure of Chloe's arc honors with legacy and maintains the emotional continuity of the franchise. The return of McLean's Oma and Pexaw's fairy godmother rules the fourth installment in the same universe. Though this presence is missed for a significant portion of the film, this leaves Red and Chloe to carry the plot, which focuses on preventing Brighthead from becoming evil. Descendants: The Rise of Red is a family movie that 9 types of time and must-see of any die-hard Disney fan. The younger kids will no doubt love this movie and will be singing the songs over and over. If adults are looking for nostalgia, they might be disappointed, while the kids are grow up with the franchise, they may find this movie a bit lacking. It didn't take long for me to become a full-on Descendants fan while watching the original trilogy for the first time in preparation for the release of the franchise's latest installment, Descendants: The Rise of Red. While imperfect, it's easy to immediately latch yourself onto the bubbling protagonist whose chemistry pops off the screen as soon as they are introduced to their final scene together in the third installments. With each movie, director Kelly Ortega also smartly improved upon elements that didn't work in the first film and added completely jovial storytelling arc in parts 2 and 3 that enhanced our appreciation for the magical world of Auradon. Making to the dog talk in the second and third film was a simple but powerfully effective moment that made both sequels even better than the first. With Descendants: The Rise of Red, Jennifer Fink takes over Ortega's tactical reign and immediately does it by crafting music number with strangely kept and visual whimsy. This was not possible with the first 3 movies. Made for TV budget contained the action scenes worthy of Robert recognized Spike. Its 3D, game over and dull camera work, the hamper that energy brought by its traffic leads, Dove Cameron, Cameron Boyce, Bob Stewart, Sophia Caron, and Mitch Pilhope. However, with the larger made of Disney's Plus budget, Face goes all out of in painting Auradon as far as more developed land than the last time we left in. In the third film, Kilban and Queen Mall have broken the barrier between Auradon and the Isle of the Lost of the Good, welcoming both prince and princess and people who are rotten to the core that would like a chance to be good. A few years after, since the event of Descendants 3, the Auradon Prep's fairy godmother had accepted a job at a university. She passes into the reign to Oma, who seeks to finish what Mel and Ben have started by welcoming everyone from the kingdom that Auradon so they can have a chance the redemption she can did in the third film. She writes invitation to Stella Brandy, who surprised her role from the 1997 television film alongside Polo Montalban as King Charming and the Queen of Heart, Rita Ora, who was accepted to send their children Chloe, Melia Baker, and Red, Kylie Cantrall, to the school. Red does not believe her tyrannical mother's intentions are sincere, since she does not let her do anything with her life outside of the confines of Wonderland. She is ultimately proven right, with the Queen of Hearts revealing herself to Oma and the fairy godmother as she staged the coup to take over Auradon and kill Cinderella, having never forgotten her for a prank that occurs many years before ago. This leads Red to turn back time through the White Rabbit stopwatch, with Chloe accidentally joining her as they discover the Auradon prepares was like before Beast united all kingdoms. Surprised by Marlene in another great performance from the actor, Red and Chloe are now trapped in the time and must investigate what occurs on the fateful day that made her mother, played in the past by Ruby Rose Turner, with Cinderella portrayed by Morgan Dudley, turned evil. It's a simple concept executed very well, with many fun musical numbers to keep the angry movement. The entirety of Descent, the rise of Red's 90-minute runtime, they contain more musical number than the original trilogy. The songs never stop coming, which Cloud prove were directed for many, but not when they are as well put together as here. Some effect shots keep the hockey feel of Ortega's original Descendant movie, but there's a legitimate cinematic eye to how Fong craft the number, such as a sequence in the midpoint of the film where Marlon's student Troy Brackett, the original name of the Queens of Heart, Flamenco featured cupcakes. It's also more visually pleasing film than the past Descent movies. The elaborate camera movement and creative sense expanding our knowledge of the film's world in a far more compelling way. For example, the camera move at its own dancer while the student performed breaking fears as the cloth turned pink. This is an absolute bravo moment in the after-mentioned cupcake scene, with the rest of the film filled with incredible creative musical number and the catchy tone. However, the same cannot be said for its rather simple story, which turns up a thrilling conflict in its first act, but continues very little tension as Chloe and Red travel back in time. Back to the Future is the main inspiration of all-time travel stories nowadays, and is equally didn't here, with each drop being stolen from Robert Zemeckis' seminal picture. As a result, none of the time travel jokes hit, and the concept itself for messing up with the space-time continuum doesn't seem as relevant as it should, especially when Red stopwatch was a weird way of messing around with time itself. How does this change time in the present? Who knows, and it doesn't even feel like the much of a concern either. It also doesn't help that the runtime itself claims the climax with a lovely action scene blocked down by a rapid conclusion that immediately suggested for another decent film. While I won't mind another movie, the conclusion doesn't feel as complete as when Maul and her gang completed an adventure in each Descendant installment. There was a sense of closure while always teasing the promise of more, since the adventure in Auradon will always continue, with or without the audience presence. And while Cantrall and Beaker are a traffic pair, they'll never be able to match the main actors' chemistry no matter what they do. That said, Fink doesn't forget the legacy of the Descent franchise and bears a moving tribute to the Cameron Boyk, who tragically passed away in 2019 before the third film release. Closing chords are satisfying and respectfully. In the presence of McLean, Oma and Paxson's fairy godmother that ensure the fourth installment is rooted in the same continuity, but they are unfortunately missed for a good chunk of the picture, where Red and Kylie must put their difference aside to change the fabric of time itself so Brighter does not turn evil. However, the presence of Vetter doesn't feel as important as in other Legicle because the characters are fun to watch on their own and promise to be further development should more installment arise. As a result, Descendant: The Rise of Red ultimately sounds on its own 2 feet as an entertainment offshoot of the main Descendant franchise, as a fun expanded of the lively world of Auradon, with enough musical number to distract as from its proper than screenplay and rush them travel plot. But with more Descendants film like on the way, perhaps we'll see the grand return of an favorite character after all. Hopefully it's a far bigger production than the other one we currently have. Tough only time will grant all of our wishes. Descendants: The Rise of Red is now playing in the theaters. Now let's talk about the biography of the main cast of the movie. The first one is Carrie Lorena Cantrall. Born June 25, 2005, is an American actress, singer, songwriter, and social media personality of Venezuela descent. Among her acting career, she played the lead role as Gabby Duran in the television series Gabby Duran and The Unstables 2019 to 2021. A recurring role as Danny in the 4th season of High School Musical, The Story 2013, and the C role as Red in the Descent spin-off film Descendants: The Rise of Red 2014. She also played a main voice role as Savant in the animated film Ron's Gone Wrong 2021. As a singer, she has recorded several singers, with her first extended being played in 2023. Early life. Cantrall's father is a musical producer, with her mother is a dancer and choreographer. She started learning how to dance at 2 years old and she was also doing with her father to recording session. She did a dance competition in Las Vegas when she was 7 years old. When she was 8 years old, she watched the biopic Crazy Sexy Cool. She started searching TLC and became obsessed with their music. Career. With her father's help, Cantrall with help of YouTube series Hello Kylie, where she reviewed Destiny's Channel shows. She also started singing and performed on YouTube and Musically, now known as TikTok. In 2016, Cantrall was assigned to a talent management agency. At the end of 2016, as Hello Kylie, she released her first single, Sleep in Four Sockos, alongside independent music label Music Order, which was confused by her father. She also made guest appearances on The Bizarre and Raven's Home. At age 13 years old, she was cast in the title of Gabby Turan and The Unstables. As a result, she left public school to focus on her career. In 2019, Gabby Turan and The Unstable premiered on Disney Channel. She also performed the series' opening theme song, I Do My Things. In 2021, Cantrall reprised her role as Gabby Turan in the second season of Gabby Turan and The Unstables. The show would be cancelled in December of that year. She also featured on R3 Hab single Sad Boy alongside Jonas Blue and Eva Max that year, and started in a voice role in Ron's Gone Wrong as Savannah. In 2022, she started a TikTok series called 10-Minute Song, where she sang with her 3 words, and in 10 minutes she would create a song using those 3 words. In September 2022, it was announced during the D23 Expo that Cantrall would be part of the main cast of the 4th installment in the Descendants film series. Originally in the working title of Descendants 4, later being officially named Descending The Rise of Red, the title role of Red, daughter of the Queen of Hearts. In the same month, it was announced that she would become a wrestling member in the 4th season of High School Musical, the series. In August 2023, the Cantrall became the ambassador of True Skin cosmetic brand, being the brand's first ambassador. During the 2023 saga of Thor Strike, she works on her music, releasing her debut EP with songs based on the 10-month songs TikTok series and a single Elastic. Her debut album is scheduled to release in 2024. Influences. Cantrall is influenced by 90s articles such as TLC, Patty Spears, Janet Jackson, and Aaliyah. She has also called Brandy, Mary Kane, and Beyonce, as well as Rosella and Becky her favorite artists. Personal life. Cantrall is in half visualization on her mother's side. In February 2021, Rafton Entertainment Media filed lawsuits against Cantrall's father, Alexander Cantrall, and the company he formed on behalf of his daughter, Hello Kylie Entertainment Inc. The suit's allegations include breach of contract and fraud. They reached a settlement in July 2022. The second one is Rita Ora. Rita Ora, born Rita 26 November 1990, is a British singer, songwriter, television personality, and actress. She rose to prominence in February 2012 when she featured on DJ Fresh single Hot Right Now, which released #1 in the UK. Ora's debut studio album, Aura, released in August 2022, debuted at #1 in the United Kingdom. The album contained the UK #1 singers R.I.P. and How We Do Party. She had the most #1 songs on the UK Singles Chart in 2012, with 3 singles reaching #1. Born in Pristina, modern key Kosovo, Aura was named in Honda Ambassador of Kosovo in 2015. Aura's second studio album, Phoenix, was released in November 2018. The lead single Your Songs reached the UK top 10, and the subsequent singles Anywhere and Let You Love Me songs reached the UK top 10 in the UK. The latter made Aura the 5th female solo artist to have 13 top 10 songs in the United Kingdom. Aura's third album, Studio You and I, was released in July 2023, debuting at #6 in the UK. Aura has also appeared as a host and coach on television shows including The Voice UK, The Voice Australia, America's Next Top Model, and Masked Singer UK and US. Early life. Aura was born on 26 November 1990 in Pristina, modern day, to Albania parents. Her mother Vera is a satirist and her father is a pub owner. He studies economics. Aura has an older sister Elena and a younger brother Don. She was born as Rita. The surname is derived from the Turkish word satraki, which means watchmaker. But her parents later added Aura. Aura means in Albanian to the family surname, so it could be easily pronounced. Her family left Kosovo for political reasons due to the possession of Albania initiated with the denigration of Yugoslavia. They relocated to London in 1991 when Aura was a baby. She grew up in Notting Hill in West London and attended the Performing Arts School, Sylvania Young Theatre School. Music career. Aura began performance at open mic session in London and occasionally in Father's Pub. In 2008, she attended for Ovations Your Country Needs You on BBC One to the British concert for the Eurovision Song Contest 2009 and qualified but later withdrew from the competition after a few episodes as she did not feel ready and thought that challenge wasn't for her. Her manager Sarah Barretter, who also worked with Ellie Goulding, Jessie J and Cornel Maynard, told later headquarters at the assured Aura that performing in Eurovision would hinder rather than help her chances to make it as a solo actress. Shortly after, Aura's management got in touch with the American label Rock Nation and told him about her. Aura signed a recording deal with a publishing deal with the Rock Nation in December 2008 and was one of their first singers. She made a cameo appearances in Jay-Z videos of Young Forever 2009. After being signed, Aura recorded an album and wanted to release it, but her label advised against it and she started to work on other material for her debut album. Throughout 2011, Aura released covered and videos about working on her debut album on YouTube. The videos caught the attention of DJ Fresh, who at the time was looking for a female vocalist for his songs. Hot Right Now on features on the single that was released on 12 February 2012. Debuted at number 1 on the UK singles charts during February 2012. Aura was also the opening act at the UK concert from Dex Club Paradise Tour. The first UK singles from her debut album R.I.P. featuring Danny Capel was released on 6 May 2012, produced by Chase and Stardust. The song debuted at the top of the UK singles charts, becoming her first solo UK number 1. On August 12, How Do We Party was released as a single and it reached number 1 in the UK and Ireland. It was Aura's second UK on a solo artist and overall in 2021. On 26 May 2017, Aura released her first solo single in almost 2 years titled Your Song, which peaked at number 7 in the UK. The song serves as the lead single from Aura's second studio album. From previous attempts at her second record were lost in early lost against her former label, Rock Nation. The second single, Anywhere, became her 11th top 10 song in the UK, peaking at number 2. In January 2018, Aura released the song For You from the sound record at the film 50 Shades of Freed. On 18 September 2018, Aura revealed the title of her studio album Phoenix and its release date 23 November. On 21 December, she releases the album's fourth single, Let You Love Me. The song reached number of 4th in the UK, marking Aura's 10th top songs, thus perching her 13 years old from most top 10 songs by the British female solo artist, previously jointly held by Shortley Bass and Paula Clark. On 29 October, she announced tour dates for the album in Europe, Asia, and Oceania from March until 29 May 2019. Acting. An appearance in an episode of the British drama series The Brief was her first television role at age 13. Shortly after, she appeared in the British film Spy 2004. In April 2014, Aura appeared alongside Korean pop star Hona in an episode of Fury or Die called Girl, You Better Walk. In 2015, she played Christian's Grey's sister Mia in the film adaptation of the best-selling novel 50 Shades of Grey. As role, she surprised in the film's 2 sequels. Aura originally approached the production hoping to contribute to the film's soundtrack and instead was asked to audition for the role of Mia Grey by the director of the film, Sam Taylor Johnson. In 2021 film Twist as adaptation of Charles Dickens' Oliver Twist, Aura played by Erfel Dogger. In February 2022, she was announced to act in the Disney Plus prequel and 8-episode limited series to the 2017 film Beauty and the Beast in a role described as a fugitive with surprising abilities who carries with her a secret that could potentially affect an entire kingdom, but the project has been put on hold indefinitely. Personal life. Aura's mother is a Catholic and her father is a nominal Muslim. She considered herself spiritual but not religious. Her maternal grandmother, Usman Bezgari, was the Albanian consul to Russia, the part of the Soviet Union. Aura's paternal grandfather, Basim, was a film and theatre director. She speaks Albanian. On 10 July 2015, Aura was named an honorary ambassador of Kosovo by the President Jihaga at the Embassy of Kosovo in London. Aura was joined at the ceremony by her parents and former British Prime Minister and his wife Tony, and Charlie Blair said that she was overwhelmed by the honor. Aura dated Scottish DJ Calvin Harris from 2013 until June 2014. In 2016, she and American musician Andrew Watt started dating. They were together for 2 years until September 2018. They got back together in January 2019 but broke up again in October 2019 since 2021. She has been in a relationship with New Zealand filmmaker Taika Waititi. They married in August 2022. In November 2020, Aura broke the COVID-19 restriction by having her birthday party at a West London restaurant during a period of national lockdown. Aura had recently returned from Egypt and was supposed to be isolated for 14 days as a result. According to the police, her security offered to pay the venue $5,000 to break guidelines and asked for CCTV cameras to be switched off. Their absolute representation denied that such payments was made. Aura apologized for the breach and was fined 10,000 euros. The next one is Malia Baker. Born December 18, 2006, is a Canadian actress. She is better known for her role as Mary Ann Spider in the streaming series The Babysitter Club, Gabby Levish in the television thriller Are You Afraid of the Dark, and Chloe Charming in the film series Descendants: The Rise of the Red. She is also set to feature in Harvest Moon, Spider and Jessie, Tina, and Hair of the Bear. Career 2018 to 2019 beginning. Becker made her acting debut in Hope at Christmas, a TV movie in which she was uncredited. She then went on to have her first TV role featuring in one episode of ABC A Million Little Things, a family drama television series created by TJ Nash. In 2019, she also featured in an episode of the CW superhero television series The Flash, as well as appearing in an episode of The Twilight Zone. In 2020, Baker starred in season 1 of The Babysitter's Club on Netflix as Mary Ann Spider. She returned to the role in the second season of the show in 2021 before its cancellation. She also featured in season 2 of the Nickelodeon Are You Afraid of the Dark second revival series. Baker also featured in Lifetime TV movie Caught in His Web. She was then cast in the Disney Plus film Descendants: The Rise of Red, as well as Mirak's dramedy Harvest Moon, co-written starring Paul Bettany. In addition, she was also cast in Spider and Jessie alongside Macinda Grace and Dacre Montgomery, and in drama Thina, all of which are currently in post-production. Baker is about to star in the indie drama Hair of the Bear, a story which she also expected to produce. She defended Catherine Fernandez's novel Scarboard in the 2020 edition of the Canada Reads. Now let's talk about the full cast and crew of the movie Descendants: The Rise of the Red 2014. Carrie Cantrall as Red, Dara Rennie as Oleana, Morgan Totley as Ayla, Joshua Coley as Hook, Malia Baker as Chloe, Robbie Rose Turner as Bridget, Melanie Paxson as Fairy Godmother, Jolie Carter as Evil Stepmother, Paolo Stromberg as King Charming, China Annie McLean as Oma, Brandy Norwood as Cinderella as Brandy, Leonardo Nam as Maddox Hatter, Jeremy Swift as Principal Marlin, Rita Ora as Queen of Hearts, Anthony Piat as Hades, Mars as Maleficent, Shasia Pascal as Adult Jasmine, Alex Peony as Jack of Diamonds, Grace Narduki as Teen Fairy Godmother, Kabir Perry as Teen Aladdin, Paul Teal as aviator, Leon Angio as border guard, Dante Ha as border guard, Felicia Bailey as dancer, Gary Bifford as dancer, Veja Chena as dancer, Gianna Bravalo as Bertolo, dancer, Pivato Case as dancer, Olivia Van Dexel, Roy Coe, Daniel Saidi, Calvin Trevito, Jonathan Davis, Lex Duro, Sher Tat, these all are dancer, Joseph Friedman, Amaya Gig, Catherine Daughtry, Kyle Hartman, Kathleen Hardy, Jaleel Pratcher, Artie Hotto, Stephen Johns, Emma Logan, Christian Kale, Amanda LeConte, dancers, James Meisel, Rachel Markanian, Magis Marsala, Eva McCloy, Meg Edwards, Marlin Academy Jock, Joanne Sizlicki, Christmas Soldier, Daniel Ryan Astley as Villain Kit, Dovarty Macias as dancer, Jaira Martins, Bella Mills, Dervisky Leos, Lyric London, Eric Nathan, Christian Kelly, Kiki Kelly, Charlotte Posse, Jenny Hoster, Chris Horace, Anthony Ranches, Sean Lal, Shana Gates, Philip Stretch, Doance Fulford, Dariel Foster, Shireen Thomas, Richard Cotton, Eric Cotty, Miliana Very, Nathan Cherry, Grace Chan, David Shock, Ben Belvins, Andrew Pecholt, Bela Ligori, Ramon Andrews, these all are dancer. Ronnie Matthew, border guard, Luke Sexton, border guard, Ashley Walton, town carrier, Asa Azar, teen Jasmine, Tristan Patel, teen Prince Charming, Lavin Vilai, adult Aladdin, Sam Maurice, Mido, Parda Lentwar, Morgie, Brandy Norman as Cinderella as Brandy, China Annie McLean as Oma, Polo Mobtain, King Charming, Julie Carda, Evel's stepmother, Melanie Paxson Ferry, godmother. Now let's talk about the producers. Stephen Powman, co-producer, Gary March, executive producer, Maheta P. Pimpson, co-executive producer, Suzanne Todd, executive producer, Wendy Williams, producer, Rose Summer, co-producer, Jennifer Fong, co-executive producer, Dan Ferry, co-producer. Makeup department: Katie Billard, web designer, Veena Gibson, hairstylist for Rita Ora, Amber, additional makeup artist, Sherry, key hairstylist, Brock, background hair coordinator, Paul Cha, head of department, Meltry Cray, hairstylist, Valoria McLand, hairstylist, Caroline Monk, key makeup artist, Sarah Ocon, makeup artist, Trody Strock, additional makeup artist, Portia Sarchi, additional background hair artist, Solvia Ramos, makeup artist, Jacqueline Neol, additional background hairstylist, Melcy Middlebrook, hairstylist, Alex R. Lucas, personal artist to Rita Ora, Venus Fierce, hairstylist, Key Santrell, hairstylist, Anthony Black, co-key hairstylist, Elizabeth Elise Adam, hairstylist, Andrea Jackson, hair department head, E.C. Cha, makeup department head. Now let's talk about the sound department. David Ehar, re-recording mixer, Meg Freegan, supervising sound editor, Brian Herman, re-recording mixer, James Padeon, ADR recordist, Benjamin Fethring, boom operator, Mason Kopkin, dialogue editor, Ian Mackey, foley artist, John Maxu, playback operator, Daphne T. Mack, sound utility, Matthew Cullen, ADR mixer, Elliot Ilse, ADR recordist, George Colgan sound mixer, Mark Freakman supervising sound editor. Now let's talk about camera and electrical department. Darwin Montana Brown as key grade, Mary F. Stanguich as first assistance camera, Jeremy Bradley as dimer board operator, Zachary R. Brown as lighting technician, Gray Clausen as camera loader, Cantrall D. Colbert as still photographer, Maxwell Fisher as additional camera operator, Randy Sherman as video assistance operator, second unit, Aaron Jackson as Gifford additional photographer, Christopher Jones as key grade second unit, Brian Chanvonley as grade, Forlan Merkel as grapher, Jacob McCoy as video assistance operator, Scott Montgomery as camera car operator, Jazz Bites as digital imaging technician, Chris Reel as additional photography, second unit, Nano Singler as additional camera, Ryan Sapacon as director of photography, Travis Steele as drone palette, John Slays as technographic operator, Kenny Rivenbark as matrix head technician, Patrick Redmond as matrix techs, Leos Northman as arm car driver, Liz Metz as utility driver, Brandy Morton racking chief lighting technician, Adam Lutz striking grip, Diedrich Kicker camera operator, Marshall Johnson second assistance camera, Daniel Fabric camera operator, Travo as grapher, Rob Perry dolly grip, Michael McDonald grapher, Kathleen Brown additional first assistance camera, Thomas Brown rigging key grip, Doam Corrington APK editor, Trav Collin grip, Daniel Faber camera operator, Marshall Johnson second assistance camera operator. Now let's talk about the editorial department. Jennifer Davidoff Cook assistant editor, Julia Wrong additional hair artist, Rachel Brown accountant executive, Kelly King colorist dailies, Aaron Moffat post production coordinator, Nicholas Posse dailies producer, Todd Pocher final colorist, Clayton Steers assistant editor. Stunts played by Lorena Abro, stunts double Melia Baker, Jeff Brocktown stunt performer, Robin Calvo, Lisa Katara, Flip Dang, Isabel Freetham, Danisha Phillips, Joshua Kim, John Nania, Pax Petrocco, Majel Roche, Luke Sanderford, Hamid Raza Benjamin, Connor Torley, Michael John, Jojo Lambert, Leon Angio, David J, Thomas Patricks, Ryan Watson, Neil Toussaint, David Stovall, Mitt Sally, Gary Peebles, Leos Northern, Jonathan Mercedes, CC Ice, Mikola Glogan, Kathleen Ditchley, Grace Chan, Emily Cartigana, Chalsia Brolin, Gory Prater. Now let's talk about the art department. David H. Nosh as constructional coordinator, Art Elling as art department coordinator, and Rick Britchie as set dresser, Tracy Brafogel as assistant art director, Kate Emery as graphic designer, Duncan Fletcher as set dresser, Marion George as set dresser, Jonathan Hollett as storyboard artist, Sean Hurstley as labor foreman, Kelly Miller as clearance coordinator, Bishop Olson as assistant property master, Zoe Rice as assistant property master, Mark Simon as storyboard artist, Joseph Tugel as on-set dresser, Marija Thomaswick as set coordinator, Jairus Trudos as set painter, Thomas Thurmond as carpenter art department, David Sutton on-set center, Kelly Annie Ross as assistant set director, Miro Parta as assistant set decorator, Megan Cortese as set designer, Elizabeth Lisma as prop maker, Simon Hannes as assistant property master, Anthony Gordon as set painter, Lorraine Hazelfox as production assistant, Katie Wald as props, Andy Dini as additional graphic designer, Haldy Beats as Sandrick, Dan Athwick as storyboard artist, Stephen P. Knoll as property master. Now let's talk about costume and wearable department. Daniel T. Opopodia as first stand, Philip Batosh as costume concept artist, Cherry Brennan costume concept artist, G. Gazel Corello textile artist, Maggie S. Chan costume concept artist, Sofia Coronado specialty costume manufacturer, Irene Allison costume buyer, Dustin Fletcher Agar Dare, Gloria Guerrero pattern maker, Joriel Henderson cutter filter, Melissa Koch assistant costume designer, Carson Kelly textile artist, Raphael Kirkland key customer, Demaria Callis key customer, Sheila Tormes costume buyer, Ricardo Vivas specialist costume manufacturer, Elan Villanova costume concept artist, Kathy Pratt assistant costume designer, Uche Lee assistant costume designer, Alia Kirkland costume supervisor, Alana Rocker Cat assistant costume designer, Rachel Ottinger cost stitcher, Jan Hancock costume concept artist, Monique Gill set designer, Faith Fardock seamstress, Jennifer Dozier costume buyer, Santi Kohran foreman, Brianna Catherine set customer, Jordan Jack Carrier Alison Choi Brown, Bristian Petalog stitcher. Last but not the least, additional crew, Lancy Beerman assistants, Pia Pivia acting coach, Laureen Subsock production coordinator, Alexides health and safety protection assistants, David McHale Brown craft service, Brian Dawes set production assistants, Sarah Elizabeth Grant second assistant accountant, Kevin stand-in Jeremy, Daniel Kelly background production assistant, Amber Lettier production secretary, Jade Nilsson key set production assistant, Meetha Peck studio executive, Kyle Shearer production assistant, Hari Prasad Saunderson H&S monitor, Cameron Sahar stage manager, Alice Wichby production supervisor, Christine Sainz first assistant accountant, Eva Pilar stand-in Rita Ora, Ria Pavia acting coach, Lizzie McHale assistant to Suzanne Todd, Lauren Calsby studio executive, Jordan Hans production secretary, Hara Hansi assistant to Wendy William, Amy Dolman studio executive, Austin Camerano production assistants, Mackley Benson assistant to Suzanne Todd, Ashley Whelan geographer, Kelly Sky acting coach, Carton Graham production accountant as Scott D. Graham. The DPEU Disney Princess Extend Universe of course thunders on the Descendants, The Rise of Red now streaming on Disney Plus, the latest films in one of Disney's countless external sub-franchise. The series now consists of 4 films, an animated series, several soundtracks, a stake of novels, etc. It's about the offspring of classic Disney villains and how they sing and dance all the time while solving easy survival problem in concerted way. And this is particularly new film is a robotic spin-off head over that maintain the usually song and dance while introducing new character and depositing them into a time travel plot. Fans are surely rejoicing at the return of the colorful demeanor content, but will you give a dang off if you haven't already consumed all the pre-existing constable Disney has plotted forth during the last decade? Descendants, the rise of Red. Anna Annie McLean, daughter of Ursula, is the new Hoko as the Auradon Prep, the exclusive private school for the kids of Disney character. She wants to change things around them part, so she sends an invitation to the privately webbrowed land of the Wonderland, where teenager Red exists under the oppressive Aaron Thomber of her mother, the Queen of Hearts, played by Rita Ora. The Queen doesn't like to play political ball, and the rest of the nation stays in the realm of Auradon, and it's quite a shock when they get an invite to the Redeem Games. And well, she doesn't like that her mother is mean and evil, so she adolescently rebels by breaking all her mom's crew's roles. She sings a song that almost her destiny, which inevitably resolves sitting on her mother's throne someday. She also rhymed red, red, red with off her head. It doesn't seem to occur to Red that taking over means making Wonderland a nice place instead of one with a very strict curfew and things like that. She hangs out with her tutor Maddox Hatter, son of Uncle Ramos from Song of the South, I think, who introduces to the plot a time machine but then takes it away like there's no way that thing is going to be used. It's too damn dangerous, so it's best to just forget about it forever. Now we meet Chloe Charming, daughter of Cinderella, with Prince Charming, who's actually King Charming now. Which logic Dabatek orders Cinderella as Queen Charming and Chloe as Princess Charming? That's how math works. Bro, somehow Chloe doesn't sing a song that redeem. Blue 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 with like beef stew or something as she props to go to Auradon Prep. Once our protagonist arrives at the school, we learn that Cinderella and the Queen of Hearts have a long-standing beef dating back to their time at Auradon Prep. The Queen of Hearts is still very bitter about being the object of the Stranded land prank, which was inspired Queenie to take over the entire school. The crab shell stand not stand. Of course, Red pulls out the time machine and traps her and Chloe waves her back into the unspent past to like 2003 or something properly. And there they find out that young Cinderella and young Queen of Hearts, then known as Brigade, were total besties. Not only that, Brigade was all pink and happy and singing songs about how nice she is and how she wants to spread all that niceness around. It seems the prank, which has somebody to do with the cookbook, of course, that has not happened as yet, inspired Queen of the Heart to become a totally fascinated pophead. So Chloe and Red post a new student in order to stop the prank from happening and therefore forever alter the future and maybe even prevent themselves from being born. You will all back to the future, so we know that the junk worst, but they don't think about that. We just blow forward with the plan altogether that something in the DPEU ends with a happily ever after, whether you want it or not. Descendants and Monster High are basically the same series. The prop school buff something to mind Harry Potter if everything was doomed in primary colors, and the plot occasionally ground to a halt of metalcore, musically number but with slightly different premises and streaming on captive service. I did not determine which one is better or more annoying. The discourage is just way too thorny. Fans were delighted to see Brandy return to Descendants as Cinderella. She even gets a nice song to sing because she's quite good at singing songs. The Queen of Hearts had the rash mantra, love is not as. It's not revealed outrage, but the implication there is that the customers, hairdresser, set designer and VFX artists were paid by the inch. All the better for the everythingness for Descendants to leap off the screen and make you feel like you are right there in the midst of an exploding rainbow of outsized character, Lucy dialogue, water hip hop, Broadway Hawks, opportunity for spin-off product, and of course the external furthering the Destiny brand. Taste the rainbow, the movie says taste it. Descendants fans surely are used to all this OTT overkill which exists very much within the Destiny Channel formula of heavily processed visual and forced prep. It is a cherry and a colorful, and you will feel good or else. Now hum along to the song, why wouldn't they? They don't seem to be tonally or stylistically different from the old ones. Disney is not really into taking risks, remember. As for the prep school promises, complete with silly instruction scene in the alchemy lab and some lead up to the big castle coming dawns, it's go to be in fodder of writers who don't want to spill too much brain sauce, coming up with something fresh. I will say the rise of Red beats the types of skinny, happy, messy that'll make the world a perfect utopia if everyone watches it. If anything is to be gleaned from bright, highly repetitive, and frankly reprised refrain, life is sweeter than you are. Isn't that life is sweeter than you are? Sweet, sweeter, you are sweeter. In other words, be nice. Also, don't prank people, it sucks to the pranky and it all feels. Travel back in the time and change time now that same helpful advice. Allow me to preclude this recommendation with the obvious statement, knobs did not apply. Fans of the franchise will want to stream it once and it probably won't clock the number of precedents for these things, especially when introducing new variation and old stuff, but it's surely just good enough for all interested and engagement parties. Descending the rise of Red to meet the next generation of Disney superstars. It has been 9 years since fans were first introduced to the villain kids from the Isle of the Lost, who shocked things us upon by arriving at Auradon Prep, and a lot has happened since then, making the introduction of Chloe and Red. Descending the rise of Red, fast forward over to the slightest of the events of Descendants 3, in which Mal and Ben have set off on their travel, and there's a new principal in town, Oma, and the daughter of Rosla. Now, whether that was a good or bad thing, given their touch history in the storyline itself, but that is not the focus. The new movie introduced Disney fans to the rebellious daughter of the Queen of Hearts from Wonderland, played by the talented Rita Ora, who has a decades-long grudge against Auradon, and her former best friend Cinderella, played by equally talented Brandy, and the rat is invited study to Auradon. A light bulb goes off and she seeks revenge and incites a cop. But Red must team up with Cinderella's perfectionist daughter Chloe as they travel back in time to try and undo the Queen of Hearts villain origin story. While the story is classic Disney plot, it is the performance from the young actor that elevate and moves that story along. The Disney franchise has never shied away from testing out different kind of music across its soundtracks, from the like of its Gang Down. Did I mention the Queen of Mean, all taking on different musical genre? The Rise of Red is no different. In some of the opening scenes, we see Kylie, Cantrall, and Rita Ora a bunch of one another in a duet, proving that Disney movies are restoring with glory, providing a stage for brand new stars to take single stage alongside experienced heads. And it's just not a Cantrall singing that impresses, with the 19-year-old acting skills shining through as Rod embarks on a journey of self-discovery and empowerment, which many fans could listen to Mars in each film, as every challenge is faced developed her character bit by bit. Malia Baker, who plays the overly chaste Chloe, embark on a similar journey to Red, but as the pairs unite, it issues an important message of friendship even between the most unlikely pair. It's Chloe's interaction with the character which sees the royal daughter undergo a transformation, moving away from abiding by the rules all the time for some time, beginning to stand up for what is right. But they're not the only character at the forefront in the Rise of Red. The Dara Rackney taking on the role of Juliana, the younger sister of Rosla, the Steve Witch, who will undoubtedly remind many of Oma before she stepped out of her villainous shoes. Despite Rani, Ruby, Rose, Turner, and Morgan Rodley character not having the most amount of screen time in the movie, their presence is strongly noted, and if there is another installment, let's hope to bring those powerhouse back. As Red and Chloe explored an Auradon to discover that happened to Bridget, Ruby Rose Turner to become the evil Queen of Hearts. Without giving away spoilers, it became clear that Oleana had something to do with it, and an electrifying number between the teen as the movie reached its climax will blow audience away.